Man, I've got to the point where you don't have to write positive about me. I'm smart enough to know if this guy has it out for me. An objective writer is going to write objectively. He's going to be fair. If you get the sense that somebody or a certain entity is not being fair, you understand what that is and you deal accordingly. I'm not going to fight that beast, right? So I keep moving. You do what you do, man, no hard feelings, I'm going to move on. When you get to the point where people don't have to write positive about you, then you know you're growing. And this is the thing though, if I do something or if I don't perform well, and you know, hey, write what you gotta write. I'm not saying you always gotta be positive. When you get the sense that it's something personal and it's never anything good, you just gotta chalk that up and keep moving, man. Enjoy your life and maintain your peace.
Why is the American fighter criticized so much and then you have Golovkin fighting the same guy that he criticized the fighder?
Man, I think you know the answer to that, man, the way you phrase that question. I don't really have an answer, man. I can't. I don't. You know. Don't listen to the rumors, all right? All right? Everything on the internet is not true, all right?
You don't feel it, then it must be too real to touch. You'll never in your life try to knock the truth. The illest shit ever. Get ready, cause this is about to get heavy.
Trying to keep me out, trying to censor what I say, cause they don't like what I'm talking about. So what's wrong with the media today?
Prove I'm lying if I ain't correct.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So good news for the most meaningful fight of this year, and that's Ward versus Kovalev for light heavyweight supremacy. So ticket sales are moving. In the first 3 days, they sold nearly 10,000 tickets, 9,000 tickets out of 7,000, right? And I want to talk about this, and this is going to be a fight November 19th, T-Mobile Arena. And you guys seen the clip at the beginning. Andre Ward, he says, don't believe everything you hear on the internet. And that's absolutely what it is. And I think it's phenomenal. I think this is the most meaningful fight in terms of where both guys are. And they're both undefeated. Sergey Kovalev is a tough pill to swallow for anybody. Ward hasn't lost since he was 12. And just a quick backstory, I do know from some sources, not Ward, but some sources that he lost at age 12. And it was a contested loss. Like, you know what I mean? Like a Canelo Lara type of situation where he maybe shouldn't have lost that particular fight. It was a decision loss, you know what I'm saying? And technically, if he had been given the fight like what I heard he should have got, then he would have been in this win column since he was like age 10 or 11, you know what I mean? So not that it makes a huge difference, just something little random factoid. But I like this. I think Kovalev Ward is definitely a good fight, and it's good to see the fans are responding to it. Now, I gotta say this. When do the detractors, the people who always have so much to say and that say the exact opposite of new media and things like that, don't you guys get tired of being wrong? That's all I want to know. Like, new media is killing you boys when it comes to reporting this boxing, and it's just because it's not coming from an emotional place or I hate this guy or this guy. It's showing you with facts, stating opinion, and then, you know what I mean, somewhere in the middle, just all of it gels together like a gumbo. You know, you throw all these ingredients in, the finished product is new media. And the reason I brought that up is because I distinctly remember recently when Andre Ward didn't show up for this Kovalev main events presser, the narrative that he was scared and he didn't want the fight. A couple weeks later, the fight signed, tickets go on sale, right? And then once Kathy Duva did those interviews where she said, oh no, we knew Ward wasn't coming, then people switched up. And they said, oh, this is not about Ward being there. But they were saying, these people in the comment sections and stuff, they were saying, oh, it would have took 3 hours out of his day. And I already debunked that. I live in the Bay. I've traveled to Oakland. And unless you have VIP through security and TSA and baggage claim and stuff like that, if 2 hours, 1 hour there, 1 hour back is your flight time, there's no way you can cover a presser and be back in Oakland in that time. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys just talk out of your ass. You've never been. I've traveled from SFO, San Francisco Airport. I left out of the Oakland Airport, Sacramento. I've been through all these airports, and I know Oakland's actually one of the slower ones. You know what I mean? San Francisco is pretty big, so you can get a lot. I haven't really ran into problems, but since Oakland is a smaller operation in terms of their airport, it takes a while. But that's neither here nor there. They switched it and said, oh, I'm mad. I'm not mad that he wasn't in attendance. I don't care. I'm mad that tickets didn't go on sale a week early. Now, when the facts come out, when the dust settles, The tickets went on sale a week and a half later, whatever it's been, and they're doing great. And they've sold almost 10,000 tickets in 3 days. So, I mean, clearly Kathy Duva jumped the gun with main events. She had the little BF, like they say on the movie White Chicks with the Wayans brothers. She had a BF, made this big stink about it. People swallowed it up without kind of investigating, hey, how much sense does this make? And now the tickets are traveling and people are paying for it. Another thing that I've seen people drastically wrong on, they say, oh, Ward, just in an attempt to assassinate his character, they say, oh, he can't sell, nobody gives a shit, he's inactive Ward, he can't sell out his mother's kitchen in Oakland and all this stuff. But these are strong numbers, and the fact of the matter is, when it comes to Ward and when it comes to Kovalev, if they fight outside of like their hometowns or whatnot, neither of them have the greatest. I mean, you could say Kovalev versus Pascal probably did good numbers, but who was the hometown fighter? Pascal, right? You could look at the Bernard Hopkins fight, that probably did good numbers. Bernard Hopkins was the hometown fighter. He's from Philly. The fight took place in New Jersey. But when you put Kovalev in a situation where he has to foot the bill and he's with an Alexander Brand level opponent that people don't know, like a Muhammadi, I think that might have been his mandatory. In Vegas, they struggled with the ticket sales. And then same thing with Ward. I think Ward Brand, they did about 8,000 plus tickets with Brand, you know what I mean, in Oakland. And people always want to talk about ticket sales and who has star power. Bottom line is this is a meaningful fight, so people are supporting it. So you can't say, oh, Ward doesn't have a star power. All of his fights, for the most part, except for Brand, which still did a lot better, considering the name, a lot better than most people would have anticipated. I think it did like 750 to 850,000 cable views, but most of his other fights have done over 1 million. And I think the Paul Smith might have been the exception, because you had David Lemieux versus Hassan Indam that same night in Canada, and more importantly, stateside, you had Broner versus Porter, which happened that same date, June 20th. I know for a fact because I covered Ward versus Smith, and I knew I was missing Broner Porter, which was a fight that I was looking forward to, but duty called. So I'm just wondering if these fans in secrecy, these detractors, if they get tired of being wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Ward has no star power. I mean, this is completely refuting what people said. You put the two names together, you put them in a meaningful fight, then it's going to sell. You look at Pacquiao versus Jesse Vargas, also taking place in November, same month. HBO chose not to pick the fight up. On top of that, I guarantee you it's not going to sell 10,000 tickets in the first 36 hours. I guarantee you that. Like the guy from the Men's Warehouse, I guarantee it. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? And that's because, to me, Pacquiao's in a similar situation. Like Andre Ward's in a position where if you match him with the right fight, then it's going to do great numbers. You know what I mean? Does he have Canelo star power where you could just put him in with anybody and he's going to guarantee to sell 26,000 tickets or something crazy? No, I'm not saying that. But, I mean, this is evident. These are very strong numbers, and it's good to see people being supportive of a great fight. Same thing with Kovalev. He's risking it all. He let Ward fight his mandatory, right, in Sullivan Barrera. They both took their voluntary defenses and voluntary fights. Now they're fighting each other. This is for all the marbles. So I'm just looking forward to it. The last thing I got to talk about real quick, I'm not making a separate video because it's garbage. People are now leaving comments saying, oh, the Ward Kovalev winner is not pound for pound #1. Bullshit. Because the bottom line, this is why I don't even like pound for pound lists, because it's all subjective. You know what I mean? It's based on what you like. Some people like ice cream, some people like fucking cheesecake, and that's how people treat this. They treat it like it's dessert. Oh, I'm not really a fan of Neapolitan ice cream. I like cheesecake or German chocolate cake. Like, that's what they do with these pound for pound lists. It's a joke. Unless there's someone who's like undeniably like a Mayweather, who's been in the sport 20 years, he's beat all these champions, former champions and stuff, then it's always a struggle to get some real good rankings. And you'll notice, you look at these different entities that do pound for pound lists, it's all over the place. Some people have Canelo in their top 10, others don't. Some people have people like Terrence Crawford, and then some people don't. Bradley just lost to Pacquiao, but some people still have him in their pound for pound list. So that's why I don't like doing it in general, but there's facts are facts. Ward Kovalev winner is the pound for pound #1. I mean, that's one of those instances where you get who Ward is, you get Kovalev, who he is. They're fighting each other under an even playing field, no catch weight, no bullshit. No, someone's out of prime and already took a loss, and they win. Whoever wins, fair and square, is the pound for pound number one. You can't rank guys like Roman Chocolatito. Yeah, he traveled up divisions. That's great. He's a skilled fighter. He's a great fighter. I'm looking forward to his fight with Carlos Cuadras. But that's a very difficult fight. Mark my word, very difficult fight for him. I was at his last fight. I don't think he looked exceptional. You know what I mean? Like, he definitely didn't look, for a guy he was fighting who had been off a year and a half, he didn't look like the pound for pound better than Miguel Cotto and all this stuff ESPN said, the top 25 in the last 25 years. I'll put it that way. He's still a strong fighter, very skilled fighter. People always make this big to-do about him moving up in weight. That is great. But in those lower weight division, moving up from 112 to 115, that's a move up and you're in a different class. 115 to 118, you're in a different weight class. When Ward moves up, he moves from 168 to 175, right? That's a bigger jump. You know what I mean? Guys, like if Golovkin moved up from middleweight to super middleweight, that's 8 pounds. Like, you know what I mean? You got to give that different credit. So if Ward moves up, hypothetically, beat Kovalev's mandatory Sullivan Barrera, who was undefeated, added another blemish to another undefeated fighter like Edwin Rodriguez, Sullivan Barrera to their record, then he takes a tune-up style fight with Alexander Brand, then beats a champion, then he's pound for pound the best. You can't base this off of ranking or future prophecies of what, like, you look at Chocolatito, he's a great fighter, but who is he beat, right? And the thing is, people keep mentioning, like, even Carlos Cuadras, I know it's a good fight because I've studied him, but a lot of these guys don't know Roman Chocolatito's opposition. And the reason I know is because go to whoever's channel is saying this type of stuff, right? Or whoever's writing these articles, tell me how many videos or articles they wrote about Carlos Cuadras before he was fighting Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, or Brian Valoria. How many Brian Valoria videos did they have before he was linked to fight Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez? Because if these fighters are all that worthy and all great, like that, to the point where you're saying that Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez is the number one pound for pound, why weren't you talking about the people that they're beating before they're linked to fight him? Now, on the flip side, Ward Kovalev, people have made Ward videos, Kovalev videos. We've studied these guys. I mean, I've seen them. I see the videos when they have a fight. It could be Kovalev Muhammad. You see people make videos about it, right? Kovalev Pascal, when he destroyed him, like I told people, you make videos about it. It's not like a Brian Valoria where the hardcores know who he is, but you don't really hear many people talking about it. So once again, everybody knows Ward and everybody knows Kovalev. The fact of the matter is, love it or hate it, that is the number one pound for pound person with Floyd Mayweather in retirement, period. And if it's Kovalev, it's him. If it's Ward, it's him, period. Now, I know what's happening here. People are getting cold feet because there's been a lot of people who shit talk and hate Andre Ward. They despise him. And the fact that if they were to put this out here, that he's the number one pound for pound, if he is contingent on if he beats Kovalev, which is certainly a possibility, that scares them. That's why you guys seen in the title that this is Mayweather versus Pacquiao Part 2. The same type of people who were condemning Floyd, saying, bark, 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 oh, chicken Floyd, he's a runner. They like doing all that silly shit. They didn't want to see the Pacquiao fight, right? Because it's easier to just point the finger and say, haha, Floyd, you're the holdup, you're the reason, you're scared. Oh, health comes first, Floyd. All this shit, right? It's easier to do that. And then when Floyd posted that contract, they're like gasping, like, it wasn't enough when he was in the hotel room with Pacquiao. They still said he didn't want to fight him. When he walked across at the Miami Heat game, they still said, oh, he'll duck him. He'll fake an injury and pull out, just like they're saying with Andre Ward. Oh, Ward, watch his knees gonna hurt him, right? It's fear. It's fear of your fighter losing, a fighter you condemned. And to save face, you'd rather say, man, even if it is Kovalev that wins, I'll just tell people that Ward Kovalev winner is not the pound for pound winner. It's Chocolatito no matter what. That's why I don't believe in these silly ass pound for pound lists, is because there's no rhyme or reason. How do you have a guy like Roman Chocolatito, and before his HBO debut, you never even heard these same writers and channels talk about him, right? They never talked about Roman. And then now he just shot up without any significant marquee win. It's like if he went and beat Vasyl Lomachenko or Rigondeaux or even a Scott Quigg or somebody like that, and he just knocked him out, easy work, then you can maybe say he, like that, with that sole win plus him moving up and stuff like that, he is catapulted to the front of the list. But these motherfuckers weren't even talking about Chocolatito. I was talking about Chocolatito and Golovkin way before a lot of these people. Videos are still on the channel to prove it. So it's all propaganda, and that's what it is. Me, I'm happy that a meaningful fight is doing the numbers it should do, and HBO is justified in their decision to pick this up over Pacquiao Vargas, because I mean, I really struggle to believe that Pacquiao Vargas will sell this many tickets in the first 3 days. I just don't see it, nor do I think it'll do the same type of pay-per-view buys, because this is a can't miss fight. I don't want to worry about buffering. I mean, I might try to get to Vegas, but if I'm watching at home, I'm not trying to worry about buffering and all this stuff. But the Pacquiao Vargas fight, I can't really say the same. Like, I'm not really, that doesn't really mean nothing. This means something. Let me know what you guys think. Great ticket sales, which was, I guess, 90% of the concern for some of you guys who, oh, Wars, he's cock blocking the ticket sale. It's about the ticket. Ticket. So since you care about tickets so much, then they almost did 10,000 tickets. New media. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.